Curious kids, what is brain freeze? Australia have one of its hottest summers on record this year. Many of us probably gobbled up an ice cream and perhaps too quickly. After doing this, you may have been unlucky enough to get an intense squeezing or stabbing sensation on your forehead. Your temples are the back of your head. This are brain freeze, also known as ice cream headache. So, you say, feeling smart, brain freeze are just a kind of headache. I already know all about those. You are, of course, correct, but brain freeze is a bit weird. While it's true that you don't put ice cream inside your mouth to eat it, your mouth are technically part of your head. You don't typically put it into the parts of your head that hurts when you experience brain freeze. To put ice cream into your forehead or temples would be very weird surgically procedure that I do not advise you to try at home or anywhere else. It's also hard to imagine a situation in which it would be medically necessary, so it seems unlikely that it would be available on Medicare. So, why do your forehead and temples, or even the back of your head, hurt when you put ice cream in your mouth too fast? There is several different ideas as to why, but the answer definitely have something to do with what happened when we cool down the roof of your mouth. When you cool down the roof of your mouth, the coldness is picked up by nerve cells that lives there and whose job it is to detect cold. This information about coldness are sent to your brain via nerve. When the roof of your head is very cold, these cells, and so this nerve, will be very active. Now, this nerve also contains information from other cells, including the ones that detect cold and painful stimuli from other parts of your head, including your very face. It may be that when the cells that sense cold in the roof of your mouth is very active, this somehow also activate the bits of the brain that are usually activated by the face cells. As a result, the cold fool your brain into thinking that your forehead hurts. Another possibility is that as delicious icy treats quickly cool down our tongues and mouths, it actually cools the blood in blood vessels that supply blood to your head. These blood vessels respond by changing how much blood flows into your brain. Only a few scientists have actually tried to measure this, and those who don't even agree about whether there is more or less blood is going into your head. Everyone, however, agrees that it hurts. It may be some combination of these two things, that activation of nerves cause a change in how much blood is going into your head. It might even be both things together. Why don't we know how brain freeze works? Here's the thing about science. What is brain freeze is a fantastic question for a curious scientist to ask. But to get the answer, scientists needs to convince other people, politicians, other scientists, and members of the public, that they should be given the time and money to answer that question. Unfortunately, the availability of time and money is not as boundless as the curiosity of scientists. The result of all of this is that sometimes simple and beautiful questions like, what is brain freeze, don't get as much attention as other questions that might seem more pressing. Instead, these beautiful questions falls away, like a scoop of ice cream loosened by an enthusiastic but careless scientist who may not have the time or resources to investigate brain freeze in the lab, but excitedly discusses it with a friend over an ice cream anyway. My advice? Stay curious. Eat ice cream slowly.